Hello, good people. I'm your host, Endang, and I'm here to guide you into a state of deep relaxation. This podcast is designed to help you unwind, let go of the day, and gently drift into sleep as you listen to the story. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Feel the tension leave your body with each breath, melting away like a gentle wave returning to the sea. Now, allow yourself to settle in. Find a comfortable position, whether you're lying down or sitting in a cozy spot. Gently close your eyes and soften your shoulders. Let your arms rest naturally, your fingers loose and relaxed. Feel the weight of your body pressing into the surface beneath you. Let go of any tension in your forehead, your jaw, and your neck. Let your chest rise and fall naturally with each slow, steady breath. With every exhale, imagine your body growing heavier, your muscles loosening, your thoughts becoming lighter. This story is titled The Second Sunrise. Margaret had lived a long and beautiful life. At 83, she was content. Her children were grown. Her grandchildren adored her, and her days were filled with peaceful moments of reading, knitting, and watching the sun set beyond the hills. Yet, sometimes, she wished she could feel the energy of youth again. Not to change anything, but just to remember what it was like to have time stretched endlessly ahead of her. One evening, after a warm cup of tea, Margaret fell into a deep sleep. But when she opened her eyes the next morning, something was different. The ache in her joints was gone, her vision was sharp, and when she walked to the mirror, she gasped. She was 34 again. Her auburn hair was thick and flowing, her skin smooth, her body strong. She touched her face in disbelief. "Am I dreaming?" she whispered. But everything felt real. The morning sunlight streaming through her window, the coolness of the floor beneath her feet, the scent of fresh bread drifting in from the kitchen. Margaret stepped outside and saw the world anew. The sky seemed bluer, the trees greener. People rushed past her on the busy streets, their faces filled with worries and plans for the future. She noticed a young woman frowning at her phone, frustrated over something trivial. A man hurried past without noticing the beauty of the cherry blossoms drifting in the wind. For the first time in her life, Margaret saw youth from an elder's eyes. She realized how often people wasted their days worrying about things that didn't truly matter. At 83, she had learned that time was the most precious gift. Yet here, in her 34-year-old body, She saw how easily young people took it for granted. Determined to use this second chance wisely, Margaret did things differently. She greeted strangers with warmth, smiling at everyone she passed on the street. She struck up conversations with shopkeepers, complimented the barista on their latte art, and asked the elderly man sitting alone on the park bench about his life. She realized how a small gesture, eye contact, a kind word, a genuine smile could brighten someone's day. One afternoon, as rain began to fall, she didn't rush for cover like the others. Instead, she tilted her face to the sky, letting the cool droplets kiss her skin. Then, with a carefree laugh, she stepped into the puddles, twirling and stomping like a child. A little girl watching nearby giggled and joined her, and soon, even the girl's mother couldn't resist splashing along. For the first time in years, Margaret felt truly weightless. She no longer held back her laughter. She laughed when she burned her toast, when she stumbled on the sidewalk, when she overheard a toddler confidently mispronounce a word. She laughed with strangers, with old friends, and most importantly, with herself. She stopped worrying about how she looked or what others thought. She simply enjoyed the moment. She stopped postponing love. Instead of telling herself she'd call later or visit next time, she showed up. She spent long afternoons with her sister, reminiscing about their childhood. She cooked meals for her parents, cherishing their presence. She sat with her best friend on the porch, watching the sunset, sharing secrets and dreams as they had when they were young. But one of the most profound changes came in how she saw money. When she was younger, Margaret had always been chasing more savings, more promotions, more security. She had measured success in the number of digits in her bank account, in the things she could buy, in the feeling of control over the future. She had skipped vacations, turned down dinners with friends, and passed up little joys just to make sure she was financially responsible. Now, with the wisdom of 83 years behind her, she saw money differently. It was a tool, not a purpose. It was meant to be used, not just hoarded. She treated herself to fresh flowers for her kitchen table. Knowing their beauty brought her daily happiness. She paid for a street musician's meal, not because she had to, but because kindness was its own kind of wealth. She booked a weekend trip with friends, understanding that memories were worth far more than numbers in a savings account. She no longer obsessed over financial perfection. She still spent wisely, but now she asked herself a different question. Will this bring me joy? Will this create a moment I'll cherish? If the answer was yes, she spent without guilt. And in doing so, she finally felt rich, not just in money, but in life. One evening, as she watched the sun dip below the horizon, she closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you for this gift." The next morning, she awoke again, but this time she was back in her 83-year-old body. She expected to feel sadness, but instead she smiled. She hadn't lost anything. She had gained something far greater, a new perspective. From that day on, Margaret lived differently. She no longer regretted growing older because she knew youth wasn't just about age. It was about how she embraced life, no matter what stage she was in. And so, Margaret's days were filled with laughter, love, and wonder because she understood that every sunrise, no matter how many she had left, was a gift. And she would never waste a single one again.